Hello, everyone. I'm Joe Martinez. Welcome to 97.7 FM, the city special edition of Film in Valleywood. We want to welcome everyone that's catching us over our social media. We want to welcome everyone that's listening to us over 97.7 FM, the airwaves, as well as over our online apps that we're running our signal on. So, however it is that you're catching our signal, you're watching, you're listening to us, welcome, welcome. We have an amazing interview today. We have some amazing guest in this, joining us, via, on location. We've got actor John Giorgio, and we've got actor Trevor Donnelly. Welcome, welcome, gentlemen, to the show.
Hey, how's it going, Joe?
Thank you for making the time to come, to log on and take some time out of your busy schedule to do this interview. Now, you are here to talk about a subject that I find very interesting, and I've got to admit I'm fairly new to it. So I'm going to be asking that you can please explain this. Now, the latest project that you guys are promoting is called Ruthless Mafia Daddy, correct?
That's right.
And if I understand correctly, it is a vertical film miniseries on the Real Short app.
Correct.
Is that correct? Did I get that right? All right. Okay. So first of all, explain to our viewers, what is a vertical reel short?
Trevor? No, you explain it so well. Trevor's so eloquent in his.
I'll take it away. A vertical film is essentially a short form content film. So, for example, you're shooting something in short form content in the format of a cell phone, a mobile device, a tablet, iPhone, you name it. And it's usually shot in a form of like a mini series, essentially. So instead of a 90-minute featured film or like a 6-seasoned TV series, it would probably be like one season, but that season might be like 50 to 60 episodes, but each episode's like 2 to 3 minutes long, and it's considered a mini series. So that's essentially what it is. It's just short form content that you're consuming at a high pace rate in the format of a mobile device.
And so I understand it's something that has been sweeping the international markets, right? And it's now hitting the United States. Is that correct?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah. So I don't know if the first attempts at something like this is mobile first streaming service. I don't know if you all remember Quibi, but Quibi launched during the pandemic, and it didn't do so well. And although that failed, a few years later, some other companies decided that they would try their hand at it, and Real Short happens to be one of those. There are a bunch of others, but Real Short is the one that I can talk about today.
It's like the catalyst of all of them. It's kind of like the starting point, I would say, and then a lot of these other ones kind of cycled out after, because they started to see where the momentum was going and the traction was going, and trying to get in on that piece of the market share with where this side of the industry is moving. So,
Fantastic. I know that we were talking before the show started, and you guys were just giving me a lot of information on this, and it was very interesting. And so I'm sure that everyone watching right now is interested as well. Now, before we get into the actual project, Ruthless Mafia Daddy, how can folks watch this project?
Well, you're going to want to download the app, the Real Short app. And once you download it, you can watch the first 8 episodes for free, and then you'll have to watch a few ads, play a few games, and then if you really want to keep watching, you can pay for a subscription and then watch the rest of it and watch a whole boatload of other vertical dramas on that app. They're soap operas is what they are. So if you're into telenovelas, if you're into soap operas, and you like that fast, niche, type of content, I think it would be for you. That's what I would say. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's like a borderline. What is that? Romantic drama, I guess you would call it.
Yeah. It's a lot of it. The genre is romance and revenge. That's what it is.
Now, let's get into Ruthless Mafia Daddy. Let's get into the project. Tell me about the project. What is it all about?
Yeah. Gosh, Trevor, I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
defer
I
to
got
you
you.
again here.
In short, I'll try to keep this as brief as possible, but basically, it's self-explanatory in the name, Ruthless Mafia Daddy. So there is a mafia boss played by Jack Byram, and the character's name is protagonist Ace in the film. And then there's a female protagonist played by Maria Bars, and her name is Ellie in the film. And John plays the antagonist, Ace's brother, Harry, in this film. And I play, what is it, Ben, which is like the right hand man to Ace. So, long story short, Ace is a mob boss and he's trying to find a surrogate mother. And there's a mix up at the sperm bank, and his sperm ends up impregnating Ellie. So then they end up crossing paths, and there's a little bit of friction there, and they ultimately end up falling in love. And while that story is playing out, Harry, aka John, is in the background trying to steal the heir to the throne because he wants to rule the family. So there's some friction and drama there between him and his brother Ace, and who will be the first to have a child with the surrogate, and who will be the first to take over the family business from their father. And then the story rolls out and plays out with a lot of chaos ensuing after that. So,
Well done.
tell me-
Well done.
Tell me about some of the, I guess, cast and crew of this. Who directed the film? Who produced it?
yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. So Tommy Maples is a producer out of San Francisco. He just happens to have some family in McAllen and wanted to come visit his family, and decided to bring this production down to the Valley. And the crew and the cast was all mainly from the Valley. We had a couple of people come from outside of the Valley, um, especially the leads, who were, both from the East and West Coast. And the rest of the crew and cast pretty much was sourced right here. My wife is actually in the film as well. She plays um, Ellie's doctor and best friend, and I get to kidnap her, and that was wonderful. But yeah, I mean, to say that the cast and crew all mostly came from the Valley is kind of um, amazing for something like this, for a project like this, wouldn't you say, Trevor?
Yeah, yeah, I would. I would say it's crazy and amazing because with these type of apps, you usually don't get that type of one-off happening where 90 to 80% of everything is sourced here in the Valley. So you got the sound guy, the camera guys, some of the cast crew members, actors, actresses, a lot of us coming together that are already, from this area, putting this project together. And then you got people from New York and California who are, coming in and monitoring and editing and cutting and chopping, and then actually this thing going out to the rest of the world. I think it's big for us out here in the Valley because you don't get a lot of opportunity, especially projects of this scale or this magnitude, to come to this area. This project's only been out for, I want to say, maybe 2 to 3 weeks, and we're closing in on 30 million views just on this project itself, and there's only 64 episodes. So the fact that the viewership was already high, and the fact that this has already been top 10 ranking of the day and in the week, weekly on this app is pretty astounding. So, I mean, I guess just to kind of wrap that up, yeah, this is just a big deal for people here in Valley because you don't really see a lot of people outsourcing from New York or California coming down here to actually give people the scale of this magnitude and opportunity like this.
Fantastic. And as you're talking, I'm playing some of the clips that you sent in.
Sure.
And so it's amazing because I we're always talking about promoting the area as a place to come and bring films, and it's happening, and we're always pushing, and our crew down here, our cast and crew, we have a lot of talent down here in the area, and so it's great to see projects like this. It's great to see producers and directors from other parts of the U.S. come down here and shoot films down here and just start doing projects down here.
Absolutely.
And so from what you know, are they expected to continue to produce films down here under the vertical reels?
As
Yeah,
far
I
as
mean,
no, yeah.
yeah. So go ahead, John. Sorry about that.
No, yeah. I mean, as far as we know, there is an interest to come down here and film more of these. I would say it's just a matter of when. And um, yeah, I guess it's just when. That's really it. Hey, that's us. Look at us.
Yeah, those are the ones. Yeah. So
There
these
you
are a lot
go.
of some of the behind the scenes clips. I just was shooting a couple of those over for you, but yeah, I mean, just
Yeah.
being on set and meeting a lot of the correct. I guess I should have sent more of cast and crew clips for you, but meeting a lot of the cast and crew, shaking hands and just getting to know people, having conversations throughout the 9 days of filming. I would say by the time we wrapped, it felt like a family, and just talking with everyone. I think there was this unspoken but automatically known excitement that everyone had in their minds, that they already knew that, hey, look, if we do really well in this project, the production team and the production crew and the director and some of the people that were monitoring live streamed from New York were saying, hey, look, like, if this project goes really well, then we're probably looking at more productions being brought down to this area. And then obviously when you tie into, you got a lot of the film festivals that are starting to populate out here more heavily. And then there's, speaks of a lot of Hollywood and studios coming down the Texas area. It kind of gives you that hope and insight that, hey, look, I think a lot of the filming industry is starting to open up their eyes to see that there's a lot of real estate, a lot of opportunity, and a lot of cheaper production value out here that is actually still in the same scale and same magnitude of high production films on the West Coast. So yeah, I mean, just basically talking around and meeting people on set. There's definitely talks in the works of bringing more big productions down this way.
So now we'll come back to continue working on or talking on the project, but I want to learn a little more about you. I want our audience to learn a little more about you. So please, individually, whoever wants to go first, tell me a little bit about some of the projects you've worked on. I know you guys are seasoned actors and producers. I understand, right, as well.
Yeah.
And I know that Trevor, you just won a few awards at a film festival, and so congratulations.
Yeah, I guess I'll segue off of that. But my
Okay.
daughter actually won the best performance in LA Web Fest in Hollywood, California, for a short film that we did a year and a half ago called White and Black Canvas, directed by Luis Rodriguez. She walked away with that award. I wasn't actually up for an award for that particular award show, but I was nominated for Best South Texas Actor at the South Texas International Film Festival. But I didn't win. I got beat out by I forgot his name, Soto. I think Mr. Soto. He was another well-seasoned actor, and he's actually ironically from Los Angeles. Uh, so he beat me on that award, but I was appreciative and grateful for that nomination for that award out here in Texas. I guess I don't think my resume is as lengthy as John's, but I guess I'll wrap mine up with this was like the second major film besides the short film that we did last year. That's the extent of my acting career. Outside of that, I'm coming from the music world, where I've charted. I've got multiple songs charting on Apple, iTunes, Spotify over the years. And then I was signed with Roshan Records out of Hollywood for a while, which was the same label as Wiz Khalifa Mac Miller, which is now a part of Atlantic Records. So I was, did some radio interviews, tours, festivals back in the day, a part of a rap trio. And then I went independent for a while and then put those resources back into myself, into my daughter, and then we kind of segued into the acting space, and that's kind of where we're headed now. But that's kind of the short synopsis of where my experience lies. But go ahead, John.
He's great, by the way. He's very talented. Very talented. We've gotten to know each other a little bit after Ruthless Mafia Daddies. And it's a funny story. Okay, so I'll tell you about myself. So actually the way that I met Trevor, my wife is actually his daughter's stylist. So she does, and that's actually how we met. And then when this project came around, we saw that he had posted that he had booked a role in some miniseries that was shooting in the Valley, and I was like, "That's awesome! That's great!" And then I got a call, and that they wanted me to play the villain in this, and I was like, "Oh, that would be great! I wonder if it's the same project." And then And then the day of the fitting, we're in McAllen, and like, you got to go to this tuxedo place. You got to go to get your tuxedo, get fitted. I'm like, okay. So we drive over there, and I get out the car, and all of a sudden, Trevor gets out of his car. He's like, so that's how we found out we were on the same project. And then from then on, Trevor and I have just gotten to know each other really well. Our families have gotten to know each other. And yeah, he's very talented. If you haven't, go look him up. The Rift, right? You didn't put that in there, so I'm doing it for you.
Yeah, I think John's being modest at this point. I mean, I knew of John before I even got on a project with him, and I told myself, hey, man, this guy's a really good actor. I would love to get in a film with him one day. And it happened with this miniseries, and I was really excited. And obviously, like, towards the end of the series, that was like our only time we were actually on the camera at the same time. And I was like, man, I wish we had more speaking roles together. But I was actually watching him on another project that was actually on Amazon Prime. And that's why I saw him in full, fledged acting moment. I'm like, man, this guy's really dope. And I found out he was from the Valley, found his Facebook, realized that, like, oh, wait, you're, my daughter's stylist's husband. Cool. And then ironically, we found out that our daughters have the same name, same spelling and everything. So I was like, oh, well, that's even cooler. So it was just one coincidence after the other. And then we just kind of keep crossing paths. And I was like, okay, something magical is happening. Let's stay on this path of acting. But he's equally as talented, man. I can easily attest for that.
I appreciate that. You don't gotta say all that. Just let me do it. No, yeah. So I've been in a few things here and there. I've produced a few things here and there, and I came from a musical background as well. Not as extensive and as accomplished, I think, as Trevor. But my wife tells me that I have to share this every time that I talk about my accomplishments. So I worked on a Grammy Award-winning album with Kirk Franklin. Mm-hmm. Kirk Franklin is a gospel singer, not a gospel singer. He is a gospel leader, and that was one of my first major accomplishments in the music industry. But I moved over into acting kind of in a funny way. I'd always been a performer, in bands, just kind of a natural performer, I guess. And a friend of mine was shooting a music video, and we were at the beach, and we were just sitting there, having a good time. And he's like, "Have you thought about acting?" And I said, "Kind of, but I haven't really, haven't really tried my hand at it." He's like, "Well, we're shooting a music video, and I think that you would be great to be in this music video. You've got a good look, and we need an anti-hero for this, and so you're going to come, and you're going to be brainwashed, and then you'll come and you'll murder the whole band. You get to play a villain. It's going to be great." So that was kind of the start of my acting journey. From then, I mean, I was in a movie called Respect, the Aretha Franklin biopic with Jennifer Hudson and Marlon Wayans. I was in a show called Hightown that was on Stars. That's what it was. It was on Stars. I get it mixed up with Showtime and so, but it was on Stars, I think.
Wrong network.
Wrong network. I've written a few short films. I directed a feature film called The Stalker, which is on Tubi and YouTube. I was in a film called Find Me with Raylan Francois, who's a producer and actor down in the Valley as well. And yeah, that's kind of how I got into this. Was a music video one day, and then I was in another music video, and then I got an agent, and then I was flying to Atlanta to go to auditions, and then I moved to Atlanta because I felt like I was missing out on something. I was seeing Stranger Things auditions, and I was seeing auditions for Marvel, and I wasn't there to participate. I was self-taping, but I wasn't there. And so, wanting to be in the action, moved to Atlanta and got another agent. And that's kind of where my career kind of took off. And I started booking roles in major motion pictures and on, network television. And started producing my own stuff. And my wife and I actually met because I was producing short films. I was producing reels for actors. So I was taking headshots and producing reels for actors so that they could have something for their portfolio. And my wife reached out to me and she wanted to be a part of a reel, a shoot, right? How coincidentally, real shorts, right? And so we met one night to talk about a project, and the project never got made, and I married her.
Even better.
So we've worked on a few things, after that. She was actually my first AD on my first feature film. We've worked on a few short films together, and yeah, that journey to Atlanta was really the start of something great, and it got me to um, where I am now, which is kind of in the opposite direction of where I was going. But yeah, that's kind of my story as far as how I got to Ruthless Mafia Daddy. Um, you know, I know that very well Brenda. Brenda was really instrumental in casting this whole thing and really fought for me to be a part of this. And if you see the Real Short app and you look at the demographic of the cast, I am not the typical choice. I'm not the choice. Like when you look at the CW, the cast it's a very niche, very small, section of people. Very specific, very good looking, very in shape, very chiseled. Um, not a lot of facial hair. And when there is, he's the dad, or he's still very in shape. And so she was really fighting. Her and a few other people on that project were really fighting for me to be a part of this. And I'm thankful because I left my agent about a year, 2 years ago, and everything that I've worked on since then has been because of people in the Valley that believed in me, or that saw something in me, or that wanted to work with me because they saw something that I was in, or they worked with me on another project. And I am just so thankful for the opportunity, and for people like Brenda, and for like Raylan, and um, you know uh, 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 that see that and go, I want to work with this person. And like, and Trevor as well, like, being able to kind of sit back and um, still be called on. That's a privilege. Like, it is a privilege that I don't take for granted. And I'm always thankful for. So guys, if you're watching, just know I'm super thankful for you. Just because I don't answer my phone, or I don't call does not mean that I'm not thankful and that I'm not thinking of you. I am. I'm just very busy, very busy. And my family is like the most important thing in my life. So, you know, I put them first a lot, and I don't apologize for that ever. So I know I'm going to go off on a tangent. So please reel me in. People who know me
Oh, that's
know that
great.
I like to talk, and I'll talk for too long sometimes. That's why I sit here and I stare and I let Trevor do the talking, because
Yeah, no, it's okay, man. I feel the exact same way. I mean, at the end of the day, it is about family. And at the end of the day, that's what we do this for. That's why we go so hard in the paint. That's why we're striving towards these dreams. That's why we're sticking our necks out there and hoping something sticks to the wall, because, just like you were saying, there's specific demographics that are out there that are always more favorable. And, especially in the Valley, it's predominantly one demographic out here. So we gotta stick up for the Valley. We gotta stand up for the Valley. We gotta put on and represent for the people out here, including ourselves, that may not have an opportunity like the rest of the world, or major cities that might have more opportunity to kind of fit the scope of what the rest of the world might be looking for. So we got to show people that, hey, look, you can still get the stories that you desire and still get the entertainment that you desire in other pockets of the world, in other demographics of the world, in other areas of the country. It doesn't always have to be the same cookie cutter stuff all the time. You're going to get what you get, and what you see is what you get, and it's authentic. You can't fake authenticity. You know what I mean? So, I feel 100% the same way, John. I mean, like, no apology needed, man. So, yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Now, before I forget, can you share with our audience your social media accounts, if so they can go out and follow and follow your careers?
Absolutely. Go ahead. You first, Trevor.
You can find me on all platforms. It's just the same thing. It's just the Rift. That's THARIFT. The Rift with an A. I'm on everything except for X or Twitter. That's the only one I don't really use. But you can, and then or you can just Trevor Donnelly on Facebook. So my Facebook's just my regular name, but everything else like Instagram, TikTok, it's just my artist name.
Yeah.
How about John? Mhm.
Yeah, you can find me on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok. Who is John Giorgio? Or you can just look up John Giorgio, and the way that it's spelled here is the way that you'll find it. It's a little tricky. Giorgio, everybody spells it George. Anyway, you can find me on there. You can find my wife also, Indigo and Ivy, or Lachey Montemayor, and you can follow her as well. And if you need somebody to do your hair or your makeup or any of that, she's very, very good at what she does. Very good. She always gets me styled. Shout out to the hair and makeup crew on set. Absolutely, Yvette, Paula, you guys were great. But my wife had me done up before I even got to set. I mean, yeah. So when you watch it and you see all that, I got to give my wife credit for that, because she really does make me look good. But yes, I know. Listen, I'm shouting out my wife. Listen to me. I mean, come on. But yes, who is John Giorgio? Instagram, TikTok. Do a lot of TikTok stuff. So, and it's fun. I like it.
Fantastic. And I know I was checking out your IMDb. It is extensive. So go out
Oh,
and look for him on IMDb.
I was
I'm
in a
gonna get mine glued together. You know?
I was also in a show called DMZ that I was actually not in, and it's so funny. And I'll leave you guys with this, but I had a watch party with some friends. DMZ is a DC comic, right? And so I got to work with Rosario Dawson and Ava DuVernay,
Wow.
and it was, I mean, I looked great in this part, guys. I wish I could send you the photo, but I looked great. I was like this wild feral man. I had this long, luxurious hair and a fur coat, no shirt. Like, I looked great, and I was throwing a spear at Rosario Dawson, right? And I had these wild women that were like crawling next to me and like hissing at her and growling at her. It was coming up. And she gets out of the bus and she walks down the alley, and then it cuts to some other guy.
Oh no.
And I'm like,
Oh no.
I'm sure that I'm in this film. So yeah, no, I wasn't.
Oh
Oh
man.
no.
Yeah.
But the fun thing about all that is the experience. Sometimes you don't make it. Sometimes you're just left on the cutting room floor, and that's my unwarranted or unasked for advice. Don't be discouraged when you're in something and the director or the editor decides, you know what, that just doesn't fit the story. It just doesn't work. It's not about you. Maybe it is about you. I don't know. Take some acting lessons. That's what I told myself. But really, at the end of the day, sometimes it's not about you. And so, yeah, I'll leave you all with that. It's my, you know,
I mean,
That's
no, that's actually good. That's actually good
yeah.
advice.
That's happened to me actually. I've gotten cut as well, and then and the same thing. I hosted a viewing, a screening for the movie. And I'm sitting there looking, waiting to see mine, and it was cut from the film. So it's like that's okay. So yeah,
Yeah.
it happens.
Yeah, because even watching this series, you can tell there was a lot of stuff cut. Like, even on our parts, like obviously we were in a good chunk of the change, but there was other parts like, oh, okay, I remember them filming that a little bit differently, or like, but it could have just been for like the sake of time. You know what I mean? Because there was like a lot of pauses.
Yeah.
And I remember having a lot of beats between some of our dialogue that they cut that dead space out of the dialogue, and they just sounds
what
like if he's
happens.
speaking fluent. Like I remember him taking a breath right there. You know what I mean? There's like no breath. Just like on sentence. Like, oh, okay, I guess it works. So I think this is for the sake of just that's also something new that I'm starting to notice. Just being brand new to the film industry is just seeing the editing process and then seeing what the final product looks like. And I don't ever have any expectations or anything, because whatever you expect, it's never going to look like what you think it's going to, for whatever reason. So I'm just like, okay, let me just go in here with no expectations and just do the best I can. And whatever the project comes out as, that's just what the final project is. So that's good advice for people watching, or just even us, or even me being new to the film industry, because it's definitely something that you got to get used to, for sure.
That's right. And that was going to be my next question. Advice to anyone watching that wants to, get into the film industry, that's interested in doing, whether it be acting, directing, writing, producing, doing makeup, doing costumes. What advice would you give them?
Do it.
Yeah.
Get out there, do anything, and be humble. Like, stay humble. It's very easy to get big-headed in this industry. Like, you see yourself and people give you a lot of praise because you look good or you're doing a good job. It's very easy to get lost in that. But take acting classes. Take online. You can take them online. You can take them in person. Study, read, but also live. Like, be a person. Have interests. Have hobbies, because what you end up pulling from as an actor comes from your own life. It comes from experiences that you have. Because acting, believe it or not, although you are sitting there lying to people's faces that you are someone else, you are doing it in the most honest and truthful way that you can possibly do it. It is the number one thing, is you are telling the truth in someone else's shoes. That is what you're doing. So my advice, go out, do as many things as you can, fail as many times as you can, be as bad as you can as many times as you can, because eventually you won't be so bad, and you'll look at it and you'll go, you know what? I'm getting better. And other people will start to tell you. But don't believe what other people tell you. Just believe what your acting coach tells you, I guess. But no, that's my advice. Just go out and do it, and don't be ashamed, and don't let people make you feel bad.
That's great advice.
To piggyback on that, I don't know if it was you that told me this. It might have been you that told me this, John. But like, me being new to this space, I guess the best piece of advice that I've received that I can just put back out into the world was, if you're trying to act, or if you're just trying to do anything, but especially, I guess I'll start with acting, is take that scenario, take that situation, and then just ask yourself, how would you respond as yourself in that situation? And then just do that. And that was probably the most simplest, best advice I've received, because then I never started overthinking anything. And then you're like, okay, how would I respond to this? How would I get angry? How would I get excited in this moment, or whatever moment of emotion is in that scene? That was the best way that I could figure out how to bring myself to life, is just be authentic. Like, I can't pretend to be me. I'm just me. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I think John said it all. Just get out there, be you, do your thing. Don't be afraid to take risks. Don't be afraid to take chances. If you fall down, if you stumble, if you get denied, you get rejected, whatever, Chris Brown said it best. He had 100 no's before he got one yes, and it was only one yes that changed his life. And sometimes that's all it is. It's just one person that can open the door for you, and you never know who's watching. At the end of the day, you never know who's paying attention. You never know who is becoming a fan, or just taking a liking of what you're doing. And you don't know who else you're inspiring, because you're just going out there and just taking hit after hit after hit to see what sticks to the wall. You never know. So yeah, just to add to that, just don't stop. Just keep going, and eventually it'll turn into that thing that you're desiring. You know what I mean? So just don't stop.
Great advice. Thank you. Now I'm gonna post the picture of the poster of the film again. Can you let folks know how they can watch this again?
Go ahead, John.
Sure. Yeah, it's you can download the Real Short app on your smartphone or tablet, or you can go to Real Short. I think it's realshortapp.com if you're watching from a laptop, and that's where you can find it. It's just a Real Short exclusive, so you can only find it on that platform. And that's REL Short app.
Now, before we wrap up, is there anything that I might have forgotten to ask you that you want to mention or
How I'm
point out?
doing? I
Uh,
think
Let's do it.
I think you covered it. I don't know. For me, I think you covered it. Trevor?
no, I don't have any other, questions or anything. The only, I could sit here and ramble and babble for the next hour. Be like me over cocktails, whatever. But no, I mean, this has been a really great experience. I really appreciate you having me today, Joe. And I just want to say a special thank you to whoever is watching, especially if it is the cast and crew, Brenda, everybody who was a part of this project. I wouldn't be up for these nominations. I wouldn't be being recognized or noticed or being giving accolades or even being encouraged to pursue this acting thing if it wasn't for the individuals down in this area of Texas encouraging and motivating and pushing me to do so. So I just want to extend a personal thank you for that.
I want to say one last thing. I want to say hi to my wife. Hi, I love you. And hi to my daughters. Hi, Mariana. I love you, Mama. Hi, Kimmy. You're doing homework. I love you. And that's it. I have to do it. I have to
Yep,
do it.
that's right. That's right. That's great.
My wife's across the room, so you're like,
No, I really appreciate you folks making the time to chat with our audience, and the doors are always open here at 97.7 FM for you. So if you're ever in the area, please do stop by, say hello, come on the air here on our mini studio, our tiny studio here inside the McAllen Creative Incubator. So if you're ever in the McAllen area, please come on by and tell us about your latest project, the latest Oh, in that, is there anything you guys want to talk about? Any future projects in down the road that you guys want to mention or are allowed to? Because I know sometimes we're not allowed to talk about any of that until we're clear.
I guess my daughter's supposed to be part of a feature film coming up, but I forgot the name of it. But I guess that's one thing that you can look forward to is Mariana will be looking for another project here, so you can probably keep an eye out for that. So.
I can't talk about any of the projects I'm working on because there are none.
Yeah, so like next week, I got called back to this Denzel Washington film. Yeah,
Well, I can only hope, man. I can only hope, right?
Hey, man, just know when you book that Denzel film, I'm coming. Okay?
Come, yeah.
I'm leaving with.
It's
Okay?
my entourage.
No, we're being bombarded with projects down here in the valley, which is a great thing. When I first moved down here in the 90s, there was nothing going on down here. And so it is great to see how it's been growing throughout the years. And so I'm glad. I'm really happy that we're at a place where we're starting to get, some big productions coming down here, like this one. And so I'm looking forward to what is next, for the Rio Grande Valley, for this area. I'm looking forward to it.
Me too.
And so with that, I want to thank you once again for making the time to talk to our audience. I want to thank everyone for watching. Go out and give them a follow, John Giorgio and Trevor Donnelly. Follow them on their social media pages, give them likes and follows, and go out and check out Ruthless Mafia Daddy. That's right.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks. And with that, have a great evening, and make sure you share this with someone who would enjoy listening to us talk here about film and projects. So have a great evening, and keep listening to 97.7 The City and watching us over social media. Bye-bye.